In this video, I'm going to show you the most commonly asked questions at Olive Garden interviews and help you plan great answers that will get you a job at Olive Garden. So let's look at a question that they value very highly, and that is, what do you know about Olive Garden? And if you're going to go for an interview at Olive Garden, make sure you know the basics about the business. If you don't, they're going to look at you much more negatively. So in this section, I'm going to show you the key facts that you need to take to your interview and how to be successful in this. So the first thing is you have to get the basic facts about the company right. Then you have to show that you've clearly prepared, and I will share with you the key facts that you need for your preparation. And then lastly, you want to impress them by dropping in one or two facts that most people don't know or most people being interviewed haven't actually taken the time to learn. So let's look at the key facts that you can use in your interview. So the first thing you do is describe them very simply. They are an Italian casual dining restaurant chain. That is what Olive Garden is. They specialize in pasta, steaks, and salads, and they are a full-service restaurant. So that means they provide servers and you get table service. They are very affordable. They are pitched to be affordable to their local community, and they offer excellent value for money. The company was founded in 1982. That is a number you should memorize. And it originally started as part of General Mills, and then the company was taken over by Bill Darden, and it became Darden Restaurants that currently own the company. The company has expanded internationally, so they have some international franchises, and they are now in many different countries, not just the United States. They offer a catering service where you can get catering for your event provided by Olive Garden. It's a good idea to know the store numbers, so look up on Google how many stores Olive Garden has and remember that number and mention it in your interview. And another great thing you can mention about what they do is they provide charity support, particularly hunger relief. A lot of Olive Garden stores, or pretty much all of them, donate any extra food or unused food to poverty relief every single day or every single week. And that's a really large thing that the company has done, and it has donated a very, very, very large amount of food through this program. So that's another great thing that you can mention, and I will read up about what they've done and give some specifics, and that could be a nice thing to include in your answer. So feel free to screenshot or take lots of notes, bullet point out the key things that you're going to say if you're asked, what do you know about Olive Garden? These are the things you can say, and you've got a great answer ready to go. The next question is, how would you deal with a difficult guest at Olive Garden? And they ask this quite a lot because sometimes you do have to work with more difficult guests who are maybe complaining, they're maybe more challenging, they may be irate, they may be angry. All of these sort of situations you need to know how to deal with. And the way that you answer this question is to reassure them that you are going to be doing the right thing. So the first thing you immediately say is, I will provide excellent service to every guest at Olive Garden. Be very strong and forceful in the way that you say that. You're being clear. It doesn't matter if they're difficult. You're going to provide excellent service. The next thing you say is, with difficult customers, I always remain calm. So the customers may be annoying you. They may be upsetting you. They may be frustrating you. But you're going to be the professional person in this situation. You're going to remain calm and you're going to keep level-headed. You then say, I listen actively to guest concerns and show I genuinely care about what is upsetting them. Most of the time, if someone is angry and complaining, if someone is actually listening to them, most of the time that calms the situation down. Once they're convinced that you're actually paying attention to them, the anger sometimes goes away, because the anger is often a way to get the attention that they're looking for, that someone will actually do something about this. So listening is one of the strongest ways to de-escalate the situation. You then say, I work proactively to resolve any issues that are causing difficulty to the guest's satisfaction. You then say, I like to use the herd technique with challenging guests. So the herd technique is a great way to answer these questions. So that means you hear, you empathize, you apologize, you resolve, so you fix the issue, and then you diagnose. You think, what was it that caused that guest to be difficult? What were we doing that perhaps we could do slightly different, do slightly better? And you might talk with your manager about that and try and reflect and think, what could we do to prevent these situations in future and have everyone have a better time and an easier life, basically? So that's what you talk about. Talk about the herd technique. It's a really great way to answer this. And then to round it off, be confident. Say, because of my experience, and talk, what's your previous experience? What have you done before? And then say, I am confident that I would be able to effectively manage difficult customers at Olive Garden. So if you've worked in restaurants before, you've worked in customer service before, you're used to dealing with this difficult customers, show them that you're confident this isn't a big deal for you, you can sort it out, you can deal with it, it's part of the job, and it's not something that bothers you at all. And be confident in that. And then you look like a good hire. You look like a safe pair of hands, someone that they can hire and be reassured that with the most challenging guests, you're going to be fine. And so talk about each thing on this list, and you're going to have a really strong and powerful answer. Another question that they like to ask is, what is your favorite item on our menu? And they don't want answers like, oh, I really like your pasta or your pizzas are very good. That's not a good answer. Let's look at what a good answer looks like. So the first thing is actually look at their menu and pick something that is unique to Olive Garden. You can buy a pizza in lots of different places. Why are you going to buy one here? So pick something on the menu that you can only ever buy in Olive Garden and use the exact name. So show that you actually know what they sell. Then say something general like, I love Italian food. Talk about actually liking their sort of food and be passionate. When you're talking about how good it is, be really passionate about how good it actually is. Talk about positive experience. So if you've been to Olive Garden before, you can talk about, for example, I've been there for a birthday, or I went there when I was a child and we had this great experience. They want to hire people that are going to be positive about Olive Garden. You maybe have to exaggerate it somewhat, that you may not think it's the greatest restaurant that's ever existed, and probably it really isn't, but you want to talk about it in really, really positive ways, because they'd rather hire someone that actually likes their food and is going to share that passion with guests, because it's going to give them a better experience. And then think about what makes it so special. Why do you like that particular food? So pick one that is unique to Olive Garden, be passionate, perhaps even exaggerate how good it is, and talk about that particular dish as something you really enjoy. And if you've had any previous experience where you've had it before, or you're a regular customer, talk about it really positively and you'll have a much stronger answer. The next question is, why do you want to work at Olive Garden? And I can't tell you exactly why you want to work here, but what I can do is give you lots of suggestions about things you might want to talk about, and you can pick as many as you like from this list and you can create an answer for this. And I would strongly recommend that before your interview, you just have on a scrap of paper a list of maybe 5 reasons why you want to work for the company, memorize it, and if you're asked this, you're ready to go with something good. So if you know someone, for example, that works at the company and they've recommended that this is a good place to work, or they've suggested you should apply for the job, you don't have to name them. You can just say, I've spoken to people who work at the company and they have lots of positive things to say about it, and that's encouraged me to apply. You talk about career progression opportunities. If you're someone who is very ambitious, you could say that you could build a career here, that you enjoy helping people. You're going to be working with customers and ensuring that they've got a good experience. If you've got previous experience working in restaurants, say, I love working in a restaurant. I really enjoy restaurant working. You could say that you enjoy working with customers, that you want an active and a busy job, that you've got previous customer service experience or previous experience working in restaurants, and this is something that that you're going to be good at, and you're confident that you'll do a good job, that you enjoy meeting new people every day, that there's going to be new people coming in to the store every single day, and you're going to enjoy meeting and interacting with lots of new people, that you love to work as part of a team, that you don't want a job where you're just working on your own, you want to work in that team environment, that you've got positive experiences as a customer. So you've maybe went to Olive Garden for many years and you've really enjoyed it and you can be really positive about the company, that you really like what they've done with their food donations and their charity support, and that's something you're passionate about and you like to help the company with that. The other thing you might mention is that the company boasts about 50% of all of its management employees have been promoted from hourly workers, so that the company does develop their own talent, and that you think that you can join Olive Garden, be very high performing, work very hard, and that you see that there is potential for you to build a career and move up internally within the company. And so you could discuss that as well. So here are lots of things that you can mention and discuss in your interview to show that you really do actually want to be here and be very passionate. And lastly, one nice little thing that you can mention is that you want to join a proven format. So Olive Garden as a business works. It's worked for a very, very long time, and you feel this is going to be somewhere that's going to be a bit more stable than perhaps their competitors. Another question that you want to be aware of is, what shifts could you do at Olive Garden? And really, this is an important question, and you're trying to say as much as possible what they want to hear. Of course, you can't promise to do times that you can't do, but you want to be focusing your answer very much on saying yes as much as possible and saying what you can do rather than just going into this question and listing, I can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, because you just give them a list of reasons why they shouldn't employ you. So, firstly, try to say yes, keep an open mind, be as flexible as you possibly can be, and you want to meet Olive Garden's needs. They need to have the restaurant staffed. They need to have flexible people that can ensure good staffing levels. So, some good answers to take to an Olive Garden interview. So, you can think about these, try and use any of these that work for you. So, you could say, I have a very good availability and I'm open to working shifts throughout the full range of opening hours. That really is the perfect answer. You could say, I can work all of the hours that you've put on the job description. So, if there's an advertisement for the job and they say, we're looking at people to work these hours, if you say, I can do those hours, then you're matching what they're looking for. And then you could say, I can work a variety of early, late, evening, and weekend shifts as needed. So the more of those you can include in your answer, the better. You want to try and be as flexible as possible. And the more flexibility you can offer, the better. If they ask, can you work this time? They are asking for a reason. And if you say no, that's going to reduce your chance of getting the job. Of course, you may have to say no if you couldn't work those times. But do remember, anytime they ask about a specific time, they've written that down for a reason. They're very interested in it. So you want to say yes as much as possible. So focus on what you can do and try and offer as much as possible. And that will help you score well on this question. Before we finish, here are some questions that you can ask after an interview at Olive Garden. So you could say, in your personal experience, what is the best part about working for Olive Garden? You could say, is there anything that you would suggest that I do now to be well prepared for starting if successful? If they suggest you should do this, do this, do this, you can make a commitment to doing those things. You could say, can you tell me about the team you have at this Olive Garden restaurant and how my role fits into your team? Show an interest in your colleagues and understanding the structure that they have working the restaurant. You could say, could you tell me the next steps in the Olive Garden hiring process? Find out what happens next. And then you could also remember to not ask certain things. So do not ever ask about holidays, time off, delaying your start date, or moving to another location, because all of those will harm your chance of getting the job and are best avoided. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I wish you the best of luck in your Olive Garden interview. And finally, thank you very much for watching.